Few directorial debuts match the emotional power of Charlotte Wells' After Sun, a coming-of-age drama whose heartbreaking ending captured the poignant distance between parents and child. As a semi-autobiographical coming-of-age story about a young woman reflecting on a childhood holiday with her father, this powerful story addressed the fragile nature of memory and the bittersweet clarity that only hindsight can bring. With Paul Mescal delivering an Oscar-nominated performance as the 30-year-old father, Callum Paterson, After Sun left much of its narrative unspoken, leaving viewers to piece together the story for themselves. Through a gut-wrenching ending that saw adult Sophie confront the fragmented memories of her father, After Sun revealed its true meaning as a tender, yet devastating, portrait of love and loss. What happens in After Sun's ending and what it means? Paul Mescal as Callum and Frankie Corio as Sophie dancing and hugging in After Sun. After Sun chronicles an 11-year-old girl named Sophie's time at a Turkish holiday resort with her father, Callum, as an older version of herself looks back on this period of her life on the eve of her 31st birthday. With adult Sophie being the same age as her father during that time, she can reflect on his experiences with new meaning. While this was a holiday filled with many happy memories for the young Sophie, expertly played by Frankie Corio, the shadow of grief hangs over the entire story, as the brief insight we get into Callum's emotional struggles showcases a man who is deeply troubled. Although Callum puts on a brave face for his daughter, he's not doing well. The ending of After Sun saw Callum and Sophie finally dance together on the last night of their vacation, but this is intercut with scenes of Callum dancing alone at an unknown rave. This was followed by Callum waving goodbye to Sophie at the airport before the camera flips to reveal adult Sophie watching this scene on a VHS tape alone. The implications of this moment imply that Callum committed suicide shortly thereafter and that these were the final memories Sophie had of her father. Taking this interpretation, After Sun becomes the story of a grown woman trying to make sense of her father's deep depression as he tried to give her one last happy memory before saying goodbye forever. The ambiguity of After Sun is central to its power, as Sophie's reflections and camcorder footage reveal how, once those we love are gone, we're left with only fragments of memory to find meaning in. Now older and more understanding, Sophie can finally see her father clearly, but only through the eyes of the child who never truly could. Sophie reaching out for Callum shows her regrets. Adult Sophie in After Sun 2022. The revelation of adult Sophie watching the camcorder footage was the moment that transformed After Sun from a nostalgic reflection into a harrowing account of grief. As Sophie tries to connect with a father she never got to know in adult life, it's clear that she's filled with regrets about the things she didn't realize at the time. Watching as Sophie looks back on her childhood self's innocent assertion that we're both underneath the same sky makes for heartbreaking viewing, as it underscores the painful truth that understanding and closure often come too late. It leaves the viewer with the ache of knowing some connections can never be restored as we're forced to confront the finality of death. There's a quiet sadness to adult Sophie in After Sun because, even though she may be filled with regrets, this is a pain that she should not carry. The mental health of a parent is never a child's fault, and as she comes to terms with being the same age as her father, she's taking the time to unpack her trauma. The use of under pressure is devastating. Paul Mescal at a rave in After Sun. The final scene in After Sun is the film's most pivotal moment, as its emotionally charged intensity reveals to viewers the truth of the narrative. With a carefree young Sophie gaining one last happy memory with her dad, this was paired with past and present Callum and adult Sophie frantically dancing at a rave as the song, Under Pressure, plays. As David Bowie and Queen's Freddie Mercury sing, This Is Our Last Dance, it's clear that Callum has come to the end of the line and is about to give in to his suicidal tendencies. Much like the song itself, Callum is under too much pressure, and he can no longer keep himself afloat in his well of depression. The ending of After Sun makes it a masterpiece. Callum standing in a brightly lit hallway at the end of After Sun. The conclusion of After Sun brings together all the core themes of the film, as we're forced to truly confront the devastating implications of memory, loss, and grief. Without ever explicitly laying out the truth of what happened to Callum, we're left with a dreamlike interpretation that allows us to project our own experiences and unresolved trauma onto the story. After Sun is a movie about internal struggles and how seemingly happy memories can transform into deeply sentimental and sad recollections once we have the adult ability to see that time period with new eyes. As an emotional gut punch that respected the audience's intelligence enough to let us work it out for ourselves, After Sun felt both universal and deeply personal.